Nope. I don't know. I don't know. Double A, baby. All right. Let's do a pod.
Yo, it is another edition of the Hyups Podcast presented by Miller Lite, official sponsor of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tastes like Miller Time, Philadelphia. Celebrate responsibly. Fritz, honestly, as I was doing that, I didn't really think about it much beforehand. I'm realizing, I feel like it's been like, yo. Yeah, I feel like I haven't done a yo. It's been like a far too long a time since they earned the yo. They earned the yo, buddy.
Yeah, it brought a smile to my face. It really did. It was like, you know what? It's been a long 2 months. It's been basically 2 months of just holding on to your butts. Like, are they really gonna full on do the nonsense old Phillies kind of thing and completely collapse and ruin all the momentum heading into the postseason? Listen, the season's obviously not over. They're into September. Like last year was their first winning September they've had in a long time. Speaking of that, I think it was Phil's Tailgate tweeted out their September records the last couple of years.
Oh.
And I will never forget the 8-20 2018 September.
It's the all-timer, the Colorado so thing, like the series in Colorado. That, even though we went through 66 wins and we had worse seasons, that series in Colorado will just always stand out to me as that was the all-time just worst.
They're dead.
Worst feeling, even worse than 65, because it was we had some shred of hope, and then it was oh yes, I remember now. There we go.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that and then 19-11, the 7-game Marlins series.
The
20.
Oh god.
The 3-game Rays series in 20. Who could forget that? But
so many.
We are in a positive moment because listen, are they fully out of it? I mean, I think so. I don't think. I guess when people say back, right? And by the way, now I've never seen.
Is that a word? Is that a word that is said?
They're back.
Okay.
Stop.
I know.
But for some reason now there has to be a million qualifiers. It's now I need 4 out of. It's dude, they just went through the Braves, Astros, Royals, and they had a blip. They did not play well in Atlanta, but they've been on a pretty good run here for a good stretch. So this whole fear of, well, here comes collapse. Are they going to win the World Series? I have no idea. Ultimately, it comes down to, are the bats going to be hot or are they not going to be hot? I think we all can simplify this whole thing down to, if they're going to hit, they're going to win. It's that's the analysis that you get on this podcast, is that if they're going to hit, they're probably going to win the World Series, because everything else feels like it's kind of settling into the right spot. But a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we felt that they were dead. That they were not coming out of this thing, that they were collapsing all over again. It's 64. And that's not happening. That's clearly not happening. They got the lead back up to 7. They took 3 or 4 from the Braves. I don't know what else you want from a baseball team.
I love
you can't win the World Series on September 1st, and I don't know what to tell you.
What else do you want from them? All right,
what else do
you need from these men out there? What do you need? No, I'm with you. Look, I think it's funny because a lot of that, they're a game and a half or a game up on the Brewers or whatever. It's pretty tight between, they're one behind the Dodgers right now. It's pretty tight up at the top. The 3 NL teams, I believe, right at the top there, and obviously the Yankees. There's 8 teams all kind of within 2 games or 3 games or whatever it is. So it's one of those things where, they could end up the 3 seed. That is without playing poorly outside of the, from now forward. The point is, I agree with you. I think as a baseball team, they're back. I think there are little things that we can point to, and obviously since we last talked, exactly what you said a month ago or whatever, when it happened, the wrist thing with Harper comes out. It's oh, he's playing through this thing. That's what it looked like. That's what we thought. So you can point to things will Harper's power come back? We'll find out. It did in 2022. We didn't have it, after the Snell thing, and then bang, the game 2 in St. Louis shot, and then he's on. Who knows? There are things you can point to and say, all right, that's concerning. I don't know. Alvarado, great that he's back, and the personal thing, who knows what happened, but he's back. I don't trust him at all when he steps into a game. So there's things that I can point to, but I think you really phrased it nicely there, where it felt like this season was falling apart. It felt like that even if they made the playoffs, whether it was the 1, the 2, the 3 seed, it wouldn't have been the 1 in this case. But we would have just not felt any excitement, any belief, any positivity about this team. It would have been like, all right, this is a death march, you know? And they changed that. Like, I don't know. Again, they could be the 3 seed. Things could play out poorly. They could get unlucky. To your point, ultimately, at the end of the day, if the bats go cold, they're probably going to lose. But I think that it's like we're through in my mind. And again, we've still got 8 September left, but I feel like we're through that. Like I believe they're a good team again. You know what I mean? And they've got little things that need to fix. And if Harper gets hot, look out and, you know, blah, 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 and this and that. But I at least am back to the point where I can look at them on a night-to-night basis and believe that they're going to go out every night and that they're going to, A, play to win, and B, have a really good chance to win, you know, 60 to 65% of their games potentially. And, you know, 65 is a lot, but that's, you know, that's all you can ask for, you know? And I think that especially heading in, and you'd like to see September, like, let's use this series and the bats get going. And then all of a sudden we go into October, kind of like the Rangers did last year, where the Rangers went in white hot into October. Like the Phillies, I mean, started October out, lost the division, but then the bats got just bang, go. And they're like rolling. So it's all about being rolling in October, you know, at the end of the day.
I know. But like, and I think the biggest thing and the thing that is most important on September 2nd, by the way, happy
September,
Labor Day,
which is crazy. Yeah.
Is, I know. It's like, it's so funny. Everyone says a baseball season so long, and then you get into a baseball season and it's like,
see ya.
It feels like it's over like that. And obviously this summer and people are out, but like,
and I feel like football's always back. It's always like, wow, I can't believe football back. It's like, really, I feel like football's back all the time. It's like, oh, football's back again. We're there again.
Well, it's all it's talked about in the offseason. It's just football, which is great. It's great.
Oh,
but
I can hear it in your voice. I can hear those football juices.
Oh man,
you love football. You love.
No, me and Walker were just doing Oklahoma drills this morning. We're so ready.
It's just don't compete with baseball. It's football's great and you love it. It's just like don't try and compare the two. You know.
Sure. Yeah. And anyone can be a football fan.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, you know, troglodytes could be a football fan. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I think the overall point is that, again, like, it was not looking great. It looked like dire straits and looked like they were going to have to limp their way into the postseason. And had they blown the opportunity to, you know, lock up a 1 or 2 seed? Yeah, that has definitely happened. They've earned that over the last 2 months. But like, I think you're being a little like you're just being a little too hard on them to like say I need to see like more of this. Like they clearly have shown a backbone. They've clearly dug themselves out of it. And like offense wise is always going to be a huge question mark. I think there's one thing about the team that people are worried the most about. It is now the offense, because we've seen them closer to what sunk them last year for about 2 months now. But like the rotation looks very, very close to what it looked like in the first half of the season when they looked like a special team. The bullpen, Alvarado notwithstanding, like the bullpen, it feels like has really rounded into form.
Yeah, I mean the 3 dudes, like you feel like Kerkering, Strom, Hoffman, like let's go. You can win with that. You know?
And last night was the best Estevez has looked. Like I thought.
And yeah, you're right. Estevez looked really good last night too. Yeah.
And I think just a little bit of maybe Caleb Gotham working on adding some depth to that slider.
And 2 innings. I mean, that was they really needed that last night.
Oh, it was massive, because I don't know who they were going to after that.
Well, I know. I mean, they used Hoff all weekend. I mean, Hoff by the end, it was like, all right, like poor Jeff, get him out of the game. He's
still good.
Unbelievable. He's so good. So good. That and Strom like battling through that. Like, again, we talked about it last time. Again, other than Alvarado in the moment when he gets a strikeout or something does his thing, like I don't remember throughout an inning when he pitches, a pitcher just more demonstrative and more, you know, angry and just, you know, emotional on the mound than Strom. He's so much fun to watch.
Man, you clearly don't remember 2012 Fritz, and that shows. You just don't. Like, it's shocking. Yeah, you want to talk about emotions on the sleeve? Yeah, they were on both sleeves. They were on both sleeves. Yeah. And it was so nice. It was like base loaded, 1 out, and like early in the season he gets out of that, and then he went to that stretch where he just wasn't. Like it's so funny because they always tell you growing up, like, don't show you should have a poker face on the mound. Don't let them know that you're flustered. He's like yelling F-bombs if he misses his spot by a little bit. He's crazy, dude. He's crazy. But the one thing about the bullpen that makes me so happy right now, like so happy. I would argue that there's no one that cares more about the bullpen besides like me in LA in the entire city.
Oh, I think
like,
that's absolutely true.
I love bullpens. Anyway, there's nothing that makes me happier than what Orion Kerkering is doing.
Yeah, dude, I'm so with you. I knew exactly where you were going. Like he's locked in, dude.
Kerkering, like this is what we dreamt on. Like when he went through that little bit of period where it was like back to throwing the sweeper all the time and fastball, like he looked like he lost his confidence. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, like 6 outings ago, he's like, no, I'm back. Here's 97 with some sink, and I'm back to spotting. I'm not walking people, and I'm just having the most efficient innings like we've seen in a while. Like him getting back to what he was at the beginning of the season is so huge from the standpoint of like just having someone else out there that you can trust. Because Estevez, I think you feel pretty good about. I loved the other night when Hoffman closed out the game.
Dude, it was freaking awesome, dude. I love that Topper went to him there and what his excuses were. I think we all know that was go to Hoffman in that spot. And he looked nasty too. I mean, just the ball was just dying like out there. Like he was awesome.
So I think you feel good about 4 or 5 guys when they enter in, which is not the case when they were going through their big slump. You felt like none of those guys were going to get an out.
Well, and also think about this. I mean, they almost won the World Series. They came, they won 2 games in the World Series with 2 guys. Like, and that was it. And even by the end, like Alvarado and Sir Anthony, in particular, Alvarado was kind of cooked by the end. But that was it. They had 2 dudes who you could trust, who you could count on in this situation. Like Eflin, I know, Robertson. Like, you didn't count on those guys at all. Like, they had 2 guys. Like, you have 3 guys you fully trust right now the way they're throwing. And Estevez has the chance to make it 4 and looks like he is. And then anything you get from Alvarado or Banks in a situational spot or whatever is just a bonus on top of that. Like, it is absolutely, if these guys, finish September. I was going to say go through September. Finish September the way they're pitching, it'll easily be the best bullpen they've gone in the playoffs with in this run, like without a doubt.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And the biggest reason why they had to do what they did this weekend is now you get it to 7, and obviously you don't want to take your foot off the gas because you saw what happened.
You have a little breathing room.
A little bit of breathing room to where like
arms.
Manage these guys as best you can. And the biggest one that they have to manage, and I'm not sure how they do it. I don't think they want to IL him, but whatever's happening with Bryce. Like, and now he did have a pretty good weekend. I mean, he had the 3-hit game. He had a 2-hit game.
He's hitting well. He's doing that thing, and we've talked about this in the past. When he loses power, like the thing that makes Bryce so much better than, Reese or, these streaky guys or whatever is that when their power goes, like, that's it. Like, they might walk, but that's it. Like, Bryce really can't. Yeah, Schwarber. Yeah, Bryce could bat. If Bryce decided I am never going to hit home runs and all I want to do is bat 330, Bryce could probably bat 330. You know what I mean? Like Bryce is that kind of a talent and a savant with the bat. So that's you could see it that he's kind of adjusted and having the power and he's just putting the ball all over the field, and that's huge. But obviously, this team is special when he's hitting the ball at the ballpark.
Yeah, and obviously Bohm being currently down, even though I think he's gonna be back tomorrow. Like, he can't. I don't know who you put at first base. I guess Cody, but like I would.
Yeah, I think Cody. Yeah,
Weston Wilson probably can. I mean,
sure,
given that he can physically stand at third base, and
I know. Yeah, if he can stand at third, I guess he can stand at first.
I guess he can stand at first base. But we've had that argument with Bohm, and he never looks like the same guy at first base. But regardless, if they can find a way to get Bryce some days here to where, and we don't need to have the meltdowns about it if Bryce isn't gonna hit. Like, we don't need to have, like, I think the decision now makes a lot more sense. That happened 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago on the Sunday where he didn't pinch hit. Like, he's clearly been battling something. And it's imperative that heading into the postseason, his power's back, because it's over if it's not. Like, he can hit singles and doubles, but, like, they feel a power bat short without him. Like, Castellanos has obviously been really, really good, but like those guys combined, Turner, Harper, Bohm. Now Turner did hit 1 more, but like they ended the month of August with 6 home runs.
Yeah,
that's not sustainable.
No, and again, not sustainable. To your point, like look, you never know. Maybe this rotation just goes out and says we're winning the World Series and we're going to dominate everyone we pitch and all that, but like. In all likelihood, if Bryce doesn't get his power back, they're probably not going to the World Series. You know what I mean? Like it's sadly potentially that simple.
Potentially. Yeah. Now, obviously, like Schwarber could go nuclear, and
that's the point. Anything can happen. They could absolutely win without it, but like, if we're just making a percentage chart of things that like these are the percentage chances of winning, like Bryce's power is out, like your percent goes down like a noticeable amount. It is a very important factor. This team is your three-er, is your best player. He's the dynamic guy in your lineup. I mean Trey too, but like Harper is more than that. We know.
Hold on. Yeah, we talking Casty? We putting Casty in that mix? Hold on. I mean, wow, this is. So I know he made the All-Star team.
Jack, you saw the highlight, right? You watched it. I mean,
he's
come
something.
On.
He is something.
Dude, that was so good. Now, to be fair, I will give him credit in this. Like those were dumbass questions she asked. No offense to whoever the ESPN person was. Like they were pretty dumb questions. Like it was just like, "Hey, Casty, how'd it go?" Like it was like I don't play. He's a literalist. He's gonna
your phone went off at the press conference.
She was wrong. It's like do a little research, but whatever. He's hilarious. Man.
Well, the problem is that no one sees Castellanos coming. Like we all saw that coming. I think
exactly. Like, if it were local, we would know. Yeah, these national people are like, wait, who the hell is this?
It's like when Vesturgeon or whatever in the series last year. It's like, how happy are you? He's like, I don't know. Like he's Castellanos and cocky Casty's a problem, man. He is a huge problem. Like because when he gets going, he's tough to stop. So like I know he made the All-Star team last year, but this is easily the best Castellanos that we've seen.
It's not even close.
It's big hits. It's honestly what I thought that they were getting when they signed him was like the guy that gets the back-breaking hits that, like that everyone dreads. Like, oh no, Castellanos is coming up because it feels like he always gets the big hit. Like, it's funny how he's gone from like I don't trust him at all in a big spot to I sort of need Castellanos up there in a big spot.
Bro, that's what I felt last night in that spot. I literally had the thought in the 11th. Sitting there with Castellanos coming to the plate, and I had the thought, and then I was like, wait, really? I was like, I think he's the guy on the team I'd want up most right now. And then I was like, what? Wait, hold on. Like, did I really just think that and feel that? Like, how's that possible? But I did. In the moment, I was like, thank God Casty's up. That's the dude I would want up right now. Like, it's crazy. And even then, that's the funniest thing. I saw someone tweet out, I apologize for not remembering who it was, but his stats from June 1st, and it's because he's played really well since June 1st or whatever. Even then, and, he's probably been the most consistent hitter and all that. Like, it's like an 807 OPS since June 1st. So it's like he's been, like, really solid, but it's like, it's just funny to think about the 309, 34 homer guy or whatever. Be like, this is definitely the best Castellanos we've gotten, but it's what I wish we saw the, numbers and we saw him in the playoffs stuff. Like, it would have been fun to be able to watch, especially watching, like, this Casty right now, the best Casty version of him we've gotten here. Like, imagine watching this dude with this swag, with this just the way he goes about his business when he's just freaking like dotting the ball over the field and hitting 34 homers and stuff like that. Must have been something to see, Jack.
Well, I mean, he did try to fight the whole Cubs team.
That's what I mean. I get it.
Yeah. Well, and it just makes on the overall point, like, it just makes their lineup so much better. Like,
yeah.
I part of why it's been, I think, encouraging the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Is that they've gotten mostly nothing out of the top of their lineup. Schwarber's going through it. I think he was 1 for 22 in the Brave series. He got like one hit. And Turner had the home run the other night, which was good, but like obviously has not been as on fire as he was when he came back and then went through it for like 10 games there. Harper, we know what he's dealing with, hasn't hit a home run since August 9th. Bohm, pretty consistent. Like he was going through it a little bit, like he was grinding into a lot of double plays, and that was frustrating. But then, like, when you get those guys going, and I say when because, like, I refuse to believe they're just going to stay cold for the rest of the year or they're not going to find some kind of power stroke. Like, you feel pretty decent about the length of the lineup with Castellanos starting to hit, with Marsh starting to hit a little bit more, with whatever's going on with Sosa, Stott, Hayes at the bottom of the lineup. Even Rojas has been hitting the ball decently well for a good stretch here.
Yeah.
So, all of a sudden, if you get the top three going again and you get them to play close to the back of their baseball cards, then the lineup goes from like questions to okay, it's a pretty deep lineup. Yeah. So that's the glass half full look at the lineup.
And that's also hoping that Marsh and Cassie and all these guys keep it going when that's the issue we run into.
Well,
yes, you're right.
I said this the other night. On the final out, and it's like I feel like the Phillies lineup is the most relatable thing to a golf game that I've seen in my life. So usually when you play golf, unless you're on tour, it's
you're
like okay,
stroking it or you're not kind of thing.
Well, no, but it's like my driver's on fire today, but my short game sucks and I can't putt.
I got you. Yes, great analogy.
And then like,
so,
all right, my driver sucks.
The short game and certain guys the drive.
Never are all three working.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true, dude. I honestly don't ever remember a lineup like this in my life. And granted, it's because we watch them every day and stuff. Like maybe there's some Yankees lineup that's been like this or whatever. We don't watch this every day. But Jack, do you ever remember a more consistently hot and cold as a lineup, as a group type of thing where this like just huge swaths of the lineup just all get cold at the same time consistently, and then they'll get hot and then the other guys will get cold, and then it's just like there's never, and then they'll all be hot for like a week and then they'll all be the worst hitters you've ever seen. It's like, can we just have some level of consistency here?
That's why we need Segura back. He got released yesterday.
He got released.
Come on, Gene. Mean Gene for the playoff run? You kidding me? I will say it was nice. It was nice having someone that would just put the bat on the baseball.
I know. Well,
and that's
like that St. Louis hit. I mean, I know it got it all started and stuff, but that was
Padres
basically
hit.
Yeah. Well, the Padres one's a much better one. That Padres game that he had, but even still, just the idea that like in that spot in St. Louis, you're down to it, whatever. You just need someone who's going to put the ball in play and hope something happens. He did. It wasn't a great hit. It kind of just got out of the glove and all that, but like you just need to put the ball in play and make something happen. And when this team, we're joking about Segura, but like. I think your point matters. I think that is like the kind of thing this team lacks is a dude to where when everyone's scuffling, a guy who's just going to consistently be like, all right, I'm going to hit there, and maybe they'll miss it. Maybe they'll get through. Maybe they'll whatever. Like they don't have those guys.
There's one man, and it's September 2nd, and I feel like I've been asking for this for about 3 months now, and I'm going to keep hammering the point home. Come on, Stotty. Come on, man.
I mean, it's Stott. That's the guy.
It's the only one. It's the only one. Marsh is
the guy.
Did you see the stat the other day that Marsh is the highest BABIP in the history of baseball?
I did.
If he could just put the bat on the baseball, he's arguably the best player in the sport.
Know, I'm assuming most people know what BABIP is, but BABIP is batting average on balls in play. So, in other words, taking strikeouts out and basically whenever he hits the ball in play, what's his batting average? And obviously faster guys, it helps because they beat out more things. And there's an element of luck into it. To have the highest in the history of baseball, like that says something. That says that like more often than not, and yes, he's fast and whatever, but when this guy puts the ball in play, it usually goes well for him. Like just put it in play. Just hit the ball.
Stop striking out. But it's like it's that, and that's why they bat him fifth, the amount that they do, because he is traditionally a contact guy. Like he's a put the bat on the baseball kind of guy. I know lefty righty also matters, and I understand all that, but like Stott's the one, and he's the only one that really can do it because everyone else is like Schwarber's patient, Turner's chase, Harper patient, Castellanos chase. Boom, he's pretty good at putting the bat on baseball. Like
Boom too. Yeah, you're right.
But like Stott's the one that can hit the curveball that's going 59 feet and flip it into left field.
Or foul it off when he's fooled on one in the dirt that he shouldn't be swinging at. Get a piece of the bat on it and then get another shot. Like other dudes, like that doesn't happen.
Because everyone else is pretty much the same. Like Castellanos.
Oh yes,
Marsh, Hayes, JT. Like they're all. None of them do it. They have two guys, and when Segura was here, they had more. Yeah. So yeah, it's again. I think Stott, you can make the case, is like one of the most important players if this team's going to win a World Series because of things like that. Is putting the bat on the baseball and doing jobs. They've been playing well, obviously, for a little bit. Still moments where they're not playing smart baseball. I mean, the Marsh play the other night where he goes to third base and like it was what are we doing? Like just being over aggressive for no reason. Yeah. Not getting a bunt down last night, like little things like that.
I will say I was appreciative they were even trying. I feel like no one they didn't score. It's the bottom of the inning. All you have to do is get this guy home. Like, butt him the hell over and hit a freaking fly ball. Like, please. I teams just are like, well, let's go up and hack, buddy. Like it drives me crazy. Anyway, I was happy they tried to do it. Obviously, it didn't work out. And he
Points for trying. Points for trying.
Points for trying. But I did at least appreciate they were trying.
Yeah, it was very cute of them that we're trying to win a ball game. But there's been a little bit of still not playing the most crisp baseball. And like that's what at the beginning of the season they were doing really, really well, is that they were doing all the little things seemingly right, running the bases well. I mean, except for the first month of the year, where
so like the first 2.5 weeks or whatever, it was like they remember the base running and all that stuff. I feel like that's
it's every
annual.
year. It's every year. They don't figure out base running until like mid-May.
They just like don't practice it in spring.
Like one of the dumbest.
Oh yeah, we got to run. I forgot. Like we can't just hit and go sit down. Whoops.
In a perfect world, that's what baseball wants, though.
I know. Swing, go take a seat.
Yeah. Oh, it's something else, man. It's something else. But man, I'm so happy from the standpoint of like, I don't think we're witnessing a 64 replay, and
God, buddy.
It kind of felt like we were teetering on that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right. Like, look, I don't think there's too much more to cover from the weekend that we have, and I think probably the worst, like the one, down spot of the weekend from a performance perspective, probably Ranger. Came out looking really good. The 5 strikeouts or whatever it was, 4 strikeouts in the first few innings, like looked really good. And then kind of just ran into it and kind of couldn't get himself out of it. What'd you see from Ranger? Obviously looked so good in that first start back. Was it anything concerning? Was it just kind of getting his feet wet still? Like, what'd you think of Ranger on Friday, I guess it was?
Yeah. Part of it is also they obviously have him on a pitch count. It was only a 4-run game at that point. It was like 4-1 when they took him out in the 4th inning. So had he been, more built up, I'd be curious to see how he would have finished that outing, because Rangers kind of like Nola, where if they don't have it early, they usually pitch their way into it. So, when he struck out for 5 of the first 6 batters, I was like,
oh, buddy.
I don't know if this is what is the best thing. We came out a little bit too hot, but I think for the most part, it was the classic comeback first start, adrenaline good. You had a good amount of rest. You had no rehab starts, and you're fine. This looked like, okay, we're back into almost the rhythm of this thing. So not too worried. I think he still showed some flashes, but listen, right now he's the 4 heading into the postseason. So we'll see, but he's got some work to do if he's going to jump either Sanchez or Nola. We know he's not going to jump Nola.
He's not jumping Nola. Yeah.
And Nola's it's a shame.
Nola's been awesome.
He was great last night.
He was awesome.
The home run obviously was annoying.
The start before, his last 2 starts.
His last 4 starts have been pretty money. And the biggest thing is he's just dotting with the fastball, and it's down and away, it's up, it's in, it's out. Looks like he's throwing with more conviction. He's not really using the changeup as much, it seems like. Seems like he's back to curveball. He's throwing that cutter a little bit more, and obviously the 2 different fastballs. So I just the Nola that they've gotten recently has been really, really encouraging, because there was a stretch there where he'd go the first 3 innings being like, what are we doing? Kind of not really in the zone and nibbling a little bit. And I feel like the last 4 starts, he's gotten away from nibbling. He's going right after guys, and you can just see the kind of command in that fastball coming out. So Sanchez, Nola, Wheeler, pretty damn good. I thought Sanchez was fine. And then Ranger, question mark. And we'll see what happens with this 5th spot. They don't need it. They need it 5 more times, I believe. So it's not like the end of the world. And hey, maybe Taiwan, his velocity ticks back up in the bullpen.
I heard Rob Thompson's been impressed with the velocity. So
I appreciate not burying a player, but they got to calm down. And we don't have to do this. He's in the bullpen. We'll see. I know you want to bring him back next year for spring training, because you don't want to
just to admit defeat yet, even though it's a defeat. Yeah, you don't want to eat the $36 million till you have to, I guess. Sure.
And Painter's coming back.
Honestly, I honestly don't disagree with that. Other than fan outrage and everyone just being annoyed that he's here, which I get, and I'm there and all that. As long as he doesn't pitch anymore this year, I am fine with taking an off season, seeing if there's any tweaks you do, seeing whatever, to try and salvage some portion of this money. I just don't think it's going to work. But as long as he doesn't pitch this year in meaningful spots of any kind, I have no problem with them keeping him on the roster. I don't need him DFA'd or whatever, he won't be on the playoff roster,
He's clearly not going to. I mean, like, So, and next year if he comes back, like having a guy that in a perfect world can eat about 6 innings, and with Painter coming back from injury, you don't want to rush him out there and have him throw 150 innings or and whatnot. So, Taiwan situation's fine. He's not going to pitch any important innings, but like the fifth spot, like obviously Tyler Phillips coming up to pitch tomorrow, and I mean, given how it went towards the end there, not sure how that's going to go. Colby Allard can't come up until September 10th, so
it's great.
They got to calm down there. I guess Seth Johnson's on a pitch count because he's coming back from
what
Tommy
a trade,
John.
By the way. I mean, what Chassé had like 13 strikeouts the other day. Like that is like, obviously these guys have turned in something, but it is a chance to go down as an all-time heist.
Well, yeah, Ani's a wizard, man. It's as simple as that. He's a wizard, and Chassé, like the fastball is plays. I mean, it's a pretty stupid fastball. It gets on you quick, and Seth Johnson just looks like a professional starter. Yeah, just looks like he's been doing his job up in AAA. So I want to see him. Like selfishly, I want to see him, but I don't know. I don't know if he will. So
look, I think it's one of those things where option A, not Taiwan. Boom, good. All right, not Taiwan. Option B, it's kind of like, all right, like let's throw Tyler Phillips out there. Let's throw Colby Allard out there. Like, why not throw Seth Johnson out there? Like, I saw Tyler Phillips give up 8 runs in like an inning in the third or whatever. Like, might be that, but also might not,
Yeah. So
I think even just teams that haven't seen guys at this point, like, what the hell's this? Worth a shot.
Well, yeah. And ultimately it just doesn't. It's the 5th spot. They won the 4 more starts after Tuesday.
Well, it's going to say, it's like, it doesn't matter, but it, matters considering the whole Brewers Dodgers thing. But yes, I get it.
So I feel like I wasn't super invested, speaking of like the starting staff. Like I wasn't super invested in Wheeler in 21 winning the Cy Young. Like I need Wheeler to win the Cy Young.
Oh, desperately. And he should. Like, I know that you could argue Chris Sales had a better year and this and that, but like Zach Wheeler deserves the Cy Young. It's like, sometimes when it's close enough, give it to the dude you should have given it to 2 years ago, who has been the best pitcher in the National League for a couple years now, like has been one of the best for like 5 years. Like he's earned it. Like he should win the Cy Young.
Yeah. And I mean, Chris Sale's been really good. I think Wheeler has thrown 15 more innings. So, like a true horse. Like a true horse he is Zach Wheeler. And he doesn't have those stupid little blow-up starts. Like it's like the Marlins where he allowed like 8
runs. I know. Same with, that's just funny with Nola too. Like if you take those couple starts out, like Nola's got like a 2-something ERA too,
Yep. So I really hope that Wheeler can bring this thing home and chase down Sale. And come on, Chris. Like just a nice little like 4-inning, 5-run game. Mix one in.
Remember how much your arm hurts and how long you've been using it and how it looks like your arm should fall off your body when you throw. And you already won a Cy Young. All right, enough.
Wheeler's earned it.
He's earned it. Why don't you let the Mets overtake you while we're at it, too?
Well, Steve Cohen was locked in on the game.
I know. Shout it out. Tweet now. It is close, though. The Mets are only game behind the Braves, and for those who haven't looked at the standings, that is like they are the 6th wild card. They're the ones fighting for it right now. As the Padres and the Diamondbacks, I believe, are both 3 games ahead of the Braves. So, I mean, that's not, it's September. A lot could change. But as of right now, like the Mets and Braves are 1 game apart and fighting for the final playoff spot. That's entertaining.
Yeah, no, it does make me want the 2 seed more.
Like desperately. I don't want to deal with that team in the first round. Nope. I just don't want
a rivalry series.
Nope.
Like
I want the Brewers. I like that. I'll take the Brewers in the next round too. Like I know they keep winning games. Like I can't get to being scared of the Brewers, and I know they're well run and all that stuff. But like I just look at that roster and I'm like, in a playoff game, like that's gonna scare me. I can't get there.
Recent playoff series is funny.
I'll be can you imagine?
And what if they're gonna cheer a home run?
Yeah, not this time. I'm guessing.
I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, Chourio.
Don't say that you're going to quit if it does. All right, just rein it in.
No. Their bullpen's sick, though. I would be terrified of this Phillies team.
Yeah, their bullpen is sick, yes.
Yeah. But, like,
and they're just a good organization. I mean, like, to Aaron Savali, like, they just take these guys, and they're like, all right, you're it's not working out for you. Come on over here. We'll fix it, and you're good. So, anyway.
The National League must have sucked last year. Like, how the hell do we play the Marlins?
I know. It's unbelievable, honestly.
That's great. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I would like to play the Marlins this year in the first round.
Like, how much better are the Diamondbacks than the Marlins were last? Like, right now, this time, it's like not even comparable.
It's not even close. It's not even close. So much tougher time this year. So the 2 seed is really important. I don't need a nice rivalry like we're gonna knock off the Phillies in the first round situation.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah.
Have we played the Mets since the first week of the year?
Dude, it's nuts. We got them coming up, but like, it's so weird. Like in this, this is the new schedule where you play everyone. Like, it feels like we've not seen the Mets at all. Like I was thinking about that the other day. I was like looking. I had a Mets game on the second TV at one point, and I'm like, who are these guys? I'm like, I don't watch the team play like all year. I feel like I always see that. Anyway, upcoming schedule. Now you bring it up. It does. It's been tough lately, but it's still not like super easy. They got a decent stretch here because they have 2 with the Blue Jays starting tomorrow, who are below average, and then 4 against the Marlins, which is good, and 3 against the Rays. That's fine, but then tough little stretch after to end it. You got 3 against the Mets, who we just talked about, 3 against the Brewers, September 16th, 17th, 18th. That's obviously the biggest series they have left, most likely, massive series. But then they've got 3 against the Mets, 3 against the Cubs, who, by the way, are the other team kind of making a late push for that playoff spot. And then they end with 3 against the Nats, which will be nice. But more teams. It's at least it's a better month for them. But the Mets, Brewers, Cubs series still, legitimate series left.
If this was football, if Elliot hosted this podcast, which I don't think Elliot will ever host this podcast,
I don't either. No,
over my dead body, frankly.
No, it will not happen. Yeah.
But if he was hosting this podcast, he would say,
well, to be fair, he might already be kidnapped in Brazil. We might never see him again. So
he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
But he would say, you don't want to show the Brewers anything in that series.
That's true. He would. That would be an Elliot thing.
Because baseball's just like football, where it's like, you don't want to show your plays. You don't want to show your offense. So it's good. It's good. But yeah, it's going to be, I know that I'm always nervous about September. I feel good about them.
Well, our history is not great.
They're playing well. We have like sense memory, like muscle memory, whatever you want to call it, with September. Like it starts September, and like you're without even thinking about it, you tense up, and you're like, oh god, what's gonna go wrong? Like that's just what I feel like. So, but then October happens, and it's like we're gonna.
Oh, totally. It's a different feeling with October. I'm with you, but like we're not in October. We're in September, and I feel how I feel, Jack. And it's not fun. All right, so let's get through this. Yes. All right, let's bag it up. Wow, it's 37 minutes in. Wow. All right, so I got to go to my mom soon. Shout out to my mom. Bought a house. Going to go help her move in. Pretty exciting. Nice. Shout out to Tina, who is absolutely not listening and will never listen, but shout out to Tina. Go ahead.
It's good stuff.
Take bag.
I'm going to need Austin Hayes to stop hitting almost home runs.
Yeah, dude. He's the most annoying of it at all time. Like, even the ones, it's annoying too somehow, where even the ones that are like, like 10 feet from the warning track, like, or 8 feet from, like, aren't really that deep. Like, he has this thing with his swing and the way it goes off the bat, where that first moment when you see it, it's like, whoa! And then it's like, oh, it's like a kind of short fly out. My bad. I look like an idiot. But like, there's something about the way the ball goes off his bat that never, ever, ever, ever carries through when they switch the camera to the other camera. Like, it never does. Yeah,
it's almost like his bat's too fast. There's like no power behind it.
It's really interesting because it like looks so good coming through. It does. It like looks like opposite. The one last night, whatever it was, it wasn't even that close. I think he had 2, but the one that like really wasn't that close. I literally like went to go put my arms up, and I feel like an idiot. Emily's sitting next to me, and I'm like, well, that was dumb.
When he's doing line drives, he's fine. He's
I know.
And I tweeted this, but like they talked about the Michael Harris catch. Like at an obscene amount. Like it was a good catch. It was like but holy cow. I mean, they were talking about like 3 innings later.
It was a really good catch. Let's give him credit where due. I mean, you can't go much further over the wall and still come back. Like that was pretty good. But yeah, it was also, I agree. I mean, like the catch he made in the playoffs was better. And obviously a bigger spot. But the catch, the Arcia, attaboy, like that was a better catch in the big spot. But like, it was just, you know what it was? It was one of those, it was like the perfect over the fence catch. And it was like, those ones are so cool. And they happen so rarely, where a guy like Griffey, like we all remember the climb the wall one. Yeah. Like, those ones where it's like a guy's like full body feels like it's over the fence and they're like hanging over and swinging back. Like, I think it's just because it's like such a rarity to see one of those in baseball. So they made a big deal out of it. But I'm with you. I think they went overboard, but also at the same time, like, Michael Harris is a very good outfielder, and it's annoying.
Good player.
Yeah. He's a very good player. Like, he's the kind of guy where if he were here, he'd have a 15-year career here and would go down as like one of our favorite players of all time. We'd fucking love the guy. Oh, no!
Very good player. But, yeah, I mean, at the same time.
I'm going to text Tucker now to let him know to bleep it. Bad job by me.
At the same time, act like you've seen Jim Edmonds catch a ball before. Like you've seen Gary Matthews Jr. catch a ball before. Like, it was good.
The best of all time. Gary Matthews, my number one.
It's an unbelievable catch. But, man, like it was like 3 innings later. It's like, hey, remember the Michael Harris catch? Phils are winning. All right? I know Smoltzy. I know. I feel you. But, yeah, the Austin Hayes almost home runs. It's just, weight room. We get in the weight room and then start launching some baseballs. Because you hit the ball pretty hard. Like, your batted ball profile, I think, is pretty good. But, like, my God, you're giving me too much like heart attacks. I'm like, oh, there, it's gone, and then bang, it's like barely it's barely to the outfield.
Could not agree anymore.
And then everything else we kind of pretty much covered. Again, a lot of good stuff. Phils are back.
Phils are back.
But the most important thing
is not currently a Philadelphia Philly professional major league player, but we all know where this is going. Let's just talk about the guy, right? I mean, we all know where this is going, right? I'm not.
Well, I'm trying to think if I could.
You don't have another. If you had another thing you could pivot to and trick me, and then be like, but also Aiden Miller, just do it. Go ahead.
The kid's in Reading already. I mean, this is meteoric. A meteoric.
Honestly,
rise.
all jokes aside, like it's pretty unbelievable they promoted him AA already. Like it is actually. Like they drafted him like what a year and 2 months ago, and he's in AA. It was 20. 21 or something like that.
20.
Like 20, like 20, like Jack. Yeah. I like to joke with you and like, we both love Aiden Miller. I like to joke with you about your obsession with him and stuff, but like this thing, like 20 at Reading already is like real deal special stuff.
Well, yeah. And I think they're just obviously giving a little bit of a test run here, and seeing how AA goes, because he's probably going to start there next year. And again, for the last month at Jersey Shore, so since August 2nd, he has an OPS over 1,000. So had the 5-for-5 game yesterday, which was unbelievable. I mean, who could forget where they were when Aiden Miller went 5-for-5?
Well, I certainly can't forget the text that I got from you throughout the evening. And I know
it was a big day.
It was a great day.
So he's in Reading now. Obviously, let him kind of finish the season there, see how he does against AA pitching. But yeah, dude, it's been a while since we've had a guy move up this fast. Obviously, Crawford's there as well, so it's really exciting. I'm surprised at how like quickly they're pushing him. You know what I mean? Like I don't know where he's gonna.
Well,
as of right now,
when they did it, and that's a good point you said. Like, it's like so he'll get some space because he'll be there next year. I was like, I guess the next year things make sense. It's like why are they doing this? Like, why is he in Reading right now? Like, what's the push? Where are we going right now? But it's weird. But yeah. I mean. It probably is just to get him acclimated because he will absolutely I think next year is like a big AA year for him,
Yeah, and I cannot wait for him to be in a ballpark that's not like Jersey Shore's ballpark. It's just huge, and Reading obviously they dial it back to like almost a bandbox, and some of the numbers there you can't trust. But yeah, I just it's exciting, and we might have a special prospect on our hands, and I don't know.
Well, I think we have a special prospect. We might have a special major league player on our hands down the road, but like I think it's inarguable with what he's done, and anything can change at any time with these guys. But his resume to now, from the time he was the 27th pick in the draft to now, this is special prospect. Yeah. Like what he's doing is a special prospect right now. Like we'll see what happens past here, but this thing so far is special.
Just saying. Jackson Merrill, 27th pick in the draft. Gunnar Henderson around this time.
Yeah.
It's getting excited.
I like that. And look, Jackson Merrill, potentially the NL Rookie of the Year, has had a great year. Really good. Awesome. Like outstanding defensive player. Like really, truly great. And a really good hitter too, all that. I like how you jumped from Jackson Merrill to Gunnar, though. That was just, Swift, and like kind of just like Jackson Merrill, Gunner, same. It's good.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So, but yeah, and people he's blocked. Like if he's good enough, he'll be here.
No one's blocked when you're that good. Like that's not a thing. Blocked is not a thing when you're that good.
So I think
they create space for you when you're that good.
I think second base is in play. I think I'd be curious if they have him doing the outfield work. Like obviously he's playing shortstop right now, but like Jackson Merrill was a shortstop and he's playing center field. Yeah. So
and Jackson Merrill was probably a better defensive shortstop than Aiden. I don't know. I don't.
Well, maybe I have no idea, but maybe left field. If I don't know if they're going to do it, but like I think at some point you got to start factoring in some outfield work here just to cover all your bases because the bat might be ready.
The bat plays anywhere too. That's the thing is like usually when you look at a guy, it's like the balance of defense at short versus the bat, and can the bat play there, and how good is the bat for shortstop or second as opposed to like first base or whatever, where you take the defense over the offense and all that. Like Aiden Miller's bat profiles anywhere. Like you could put him as a corner outfielder and the bat profiles there. That's what makes him so special as a shortstop or middle infield prospect with that bat. But like he has a corner outfield bat. Like that's nuts, dude.
David Wright.
That's a good take. I like that.
David Wright. A lot of swing comps. A lot of swing comps out there.
I could even, what's funny is, I'm the, maybe not the worst, but far from the best at the swing comp thing where you are, elite at it. One of the greats. I totally see David Wright when you like all the videos you tweet out when we watch Aiden stuff. I totally see that. Like I totally see that swing comp, like the kind of big swing like that. Like it's fascinating.
It's a good breakdown right there.
Yeah, big swing.
David Wright and a little
that bat around.
Little Ryan Braun.
Yeah, I could see that. That's good work right there. All right, I have one last thing. Well, I have two last things. I lied first. Shout out to the Miller Lite account of the week. Liberty Union. Today's show sponsored by Miller Lite and Liberty Union Bar and Grill in Chester Springs and Kimberton. Check out Liberty Union for every Phillies game and enjoy $4 Miller Lite drafts along with Liberty Union Burger, fried egg over easy spinach, bacon, and American cheese. Miller Lites for Phil's win. Celebrate responsibly. All right, Fritzy, last thing from me, because I saw this, and there are certain things that it's like, oh, like I need Jack's thoughts on that. Like, sometimes it's Aiden Miller type thing. Sometimes it's the Phillies players wearing NFL jerseys type thing. So did you see this?
No.
I just felt this is so up your alley. So shout out to our buddy Anthony Sanfilippo tweeted this out. Apparently, the Phillies are going to be all wearing NFL jerseys when they were wearing NFL jerseys, last night when they got on the plane to go to Toronto and Miami. I'm assuming at the start of the season, whatever. But I have a sample of some of the jerseys that players are wearing. I want to get your thoughts, okay? Because this is fun. First and foremost, obviously, there's some pandering going on. Obviously, Rob Thompson wore a Brian Dawkins jersey. It's like, okay. Along with Austin Hayes. Apparently, Austin Hayes and Rob Thompson brought out the Docs jersey. I almost feel like they should have been like, Austin, nah, man.
Austin.
You can't wear the dog jersey.
Barely know who you are.
Yeah, it's like, bro. Like, I know you're trying what you're doing here. Like, come on. Like, take someone who's not Brian Dawkins. Okay.
We can't go Doc yet.
Yeah, I agree. Like Topper, like I think he's earned that. You can wear. I think it makes sense. Now it's very pandery, and that's fine. But like, okay. Other pander options. I like this one. Kirkering went with a Saquon jersey.
Nice.
Solid.
Nice.
I respect that. I don't know how you'll feel about this one, but Estevez and Tanner Bakes rocking some Jalen jerseys.
Classic.
Garrett Stubbs goes with a Jake Elliott jersey. I like that. Kind of little guy. That's clever, right?
That's on brand. That's what I expect.
And then
from Garrett
only
Stubbs.
one other Eagles jersey, which I think makes a ton of sense and is absolutely the right call. And I love it because Tyler Phillips, obviously, actually from here, he has a Randall jersey. It's like, yeah, was growing up at that time. That makes sense. A little young Randall. Randall's more Jerome. My generation. But yeah, okay. So now we get to the non-Eagles players, and this is where I'm really interested in your thoughts because we can all judge pandering. But Jeff Hoffman rocking a Marvin Harrison Colts jersey.
Well, it sounds like he's a real football fan.
That's what I mean. Winner. Also, a little Philly reference without doing it like Hoff. Just he is firing on all cylinders.
Continues to get it.
Kicking ass right now. All right, Wes Wilson, a Chad Johnson Bengals jersey.
Wow, that's good.
Ocho Cinco.
And me and Weston Wilson are now forever linked because he named his son Walker.
Did he really? I didn't notice that. Congrats, Walker Wilson.
Once again, copying me.
Yeah, well, obviously. Schwarb's Icky Woods jersey, phenomenal work. Respect.
Obviously, grew up a Bengals fan.
Yes, it's fine. I forgot one more duo of pandering. Sosa and Rojas rocking Devontae jerseys. I'm fine with it. I feel like a Devontae jersey, it's almost not even pandering. It's just like, all right, that's cool. Like Devontae's just cool.
Well, Devontae is my favorite Eagle. It's not
me too. He is my favorite. He is my favorite Eagle. Like I only own one. I only won one Eagles jersey because they gave it to us at the station. But I asked for the Devontae one. They were like, there was a bunch of options. Like, can I get that one? That's what I want. Like he's the best. Like the best. So I don't think it's pandering. It's just cool. All right. We're getting down to some football heads, and then we're getting to one pretty hilarious one. Max Lazar, love the guy. Jalen Ramsey, Dolphins jersey. That must just be an age thing. He's a kid. I don't know, weird one.
What are you, 5?
Thank you. That's my thought. All right, Zach Wheeler. Credit from Georgia, obviously. He's rocking a Deion Sanders Falcons jersey.
That's a great jersey.
It's a great jersey. I don't love the Atlanta thing, but that's strong. Caleb Cotham. Earl Campbell, let's go. Oilers.
Also strong. Oilers. Yeah,
like the old Earl Campbell, like those cool jerseys. All right. So now we're getting to the nitty gritty here. I think Brandon Marsh and Mike Vick Falcons jersey, fine. Whatever, You're from there. Here are the two that I really want your opinion on the most.
Well, I wonder if it was a Mike Vick like the 2002 Mike Vick or like the 2004 Mike Vick. Because 04 Vick I didn't like as much as the 02 Vick.
Yeah. Yeah, regardless that time there, though, I get it. Okay, here are the last two that I really need your thoughts on. And one, Taiwan Walker wearing a Ricky Williams Saints jersey. I think that's a reference to like a little something. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, what else could it be? I mean, it's such a weird choice. Like,
dude, Ricky Williams was a problem, man.
I mean, trust me, we're in Philadelphia here, all right? We'll go to the draft and say we want Ricky Williams,
He was better as a Dolphin, though. If I was doing a Ricky Williams jersey.
I agree with you. Yeah, he was. All right, and here's the last one. And I know he's from Miami, or he's from, but Casty, and this might be my biggest issue in the entire pod. Casty's rocking a Tua jersey. I don't know what to do here. I don't care. No.
Why?
He stinks. He's Tua.
He's got paid, man. He got $200 million.
I'm just taking a shot, guys. I like that they did that. I think it's a fun little thing. And
listen,
I like that we got the information on.
People forget in 22, when Thompson brought the top hat.
No one forgets, buddy. No one forgets. It still gets referenced like you.
So hold on, where's Bryce at? No Bryce jersey?
So apparently what Ant said that he didn't get all of them. These are just the ones that he saw people wearing. So I'm sure maybe today we'll get some more info because they were on the flight last night or something. Whatever.
I bet you if I had to bet, I think he goes Reggie White, Kelly Green jersey.
Totally. It's definitely the height of pandering, whatever it is. It'll be something. Foles. I could see him going Foles. I could see him going with just like a classic Eagles something without a doubt.
Well, he said last night he's not a big NFL guy, but he did drop a Go Birds for you. So maybe cut that and
my guy gets it. Feed. Oh, I will. Thank you, Bryce. He's probably just a big fan of the pod. I get it.
Yeah. Listen,
he needs his Eagles news from somewhere. The afternoon show has been pretty mean to him, lately. So
well aware.
Yeah.
Well aware.
So he's probably like, what? I'm just gonna check out my guys, James and Elliott, a couple of baseball guys talking football.
Right.
Probably what happened.
But yes, and then he's just talking about college football. So it was a good Bryce interview, per usual.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
I could use a home run this month.
Be pretty sweet, right? Pretty sweet. All right. You got anything else?
No, let's have a nice little Labor Day before.
Yeah, day off. 2-game series coming. All right. We'll be back later in the week. Happy Labor Day. I told Jack I could give him like 30 minutes. We went 50 something, so that is so on brand. I'll go help my mom out. I felt like I had something else to say, and I'm like stalling to say it, but I can't remember. So maybe I'll lead the next pod with it. How's that sound?
Good.
Or never remember what it was again, more likely. All right. Go Phils. We'll talk to you after the Blue Jays series. Until then, he's Fritz and Seltzer.